Morning, guys. Right, we will get started. You didn't have any specific homework. I just wanted you to write your notes out. It'll probably be similar today. Maybe a little bit of homework. Okay. So on Friday, we talked about a couple of the basic geometry concepts, and these are ones that you should know already. Okay, so we talked about the plane, putting points on a plane. Different types of lines. We had just a line, which is infinitely long in both directions. Then we talked about a ray, which has a starting point but no ending point, and then a line segment, which has a starting and an ending point. Talked about parallel lines, perpendicular lines, what it meant to be collinear is there somewhere as well. And then we talked about angles. So how do you name an angle, and then the different types of angles, being able to describe them. Okay. So the next thing here is congruent triangles, which again, this is on the ordinary level course. So you would have done this when you did the first geometry chapter in the first book. So if two triangles are identical, then they are called congruent. So, sorry, I can't get my window to sync, which is really annoying. Okay, so if two triangles are absolutely identical, then they are congruent. So absolutely identical means, oh my god, I can't get anything working at the moment. Hang on, there we go. So absolutely identical means same sides, same angles. Okay, so two triangles where all three sides are the same and all three angles are the same is then those two triangles are classed as being congruent. Okay, so if you look at these two triangles here, you can see that you have these two sides are the same, these two sides are the same, and these two sides are the same, so all sides are the same. And then you have the same deal with the angles. So this is 78 and this is 78, this is 68, this is 68, and this is 34, this is 34. So those two triangles are congruent. Okay, there's a symbol for congruent. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it there. It seems to be a bit blurry. Anyway, the symbol for congruent is an equals, but with a third line. Okay, that means congruent. Okay. Oh, can't spell. Congruent. Right. So, in order to prove the two triangles are congruent, they need, like I said, same sides and same angles, right? So that was 6 pieces of information that matched up. I could match up 1, 2, 3 angles and 1, 2, 3 sides. That's 6 pieces of information that need to match up in order to prove congruency. But you don't need 6. For example, if you have a triangle or two triangles where the sides are all the same, so you have a side of 4 to match this side of 4, you have a side of 6.5 which matches this side of 6.5, you have the base which is 7 and you have a base of 7, okay? If you draw two triangles with identical sides, the angles have to be the same. You don't need to go and prove it. So 3 key pieces of information are enough to prove congruency. Okay, 3 key pieces of information are enough to prove congruency. Okay, you don't necessarily need all 6. Okay, so this then goes through the key pieces. So the one I just described, which is side, 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 SSS. So if you have 2 triangles and you can match up their sides, so there's a 4 with a 4, a 5 with a 5, and a 6 with a 6. There is no need to measure the angles in those triangles. They would match. Those triangles are congruent. Okay, don't know what happened there. Sorry. The second way of proving congruency is side angle side. Okay, so here's a side. Here's a second side. And then here's your matching angle. Now, what's really important, right, really important with that one is that the angle must be in between the two sides. Okay, so it can't just be any old angle, it has to be in between the two sides. Okay, it's called the included angle. There it is there. Okay, so it's side angle side, but the reason it's written like that, the reason it's not written side side angle, it's written side angle side because the angle must be in the middle. Okay, so you need to find two matching sides and then an angle in the middle. And then if you find those three and you drew those triangles, the other bits would have to match up. This side would have to be the same as this side. Okay, the third one, similar to that one, just the opposite. So angle, side angle. Okay, and same thing, the side must be in between. Okay, so here's an angle. Do I have a match? Yes, I do. Here's another angle. Do I have a match? Yes, I do. Then I have a matching side here and here. And is the side in between the two angles? Yes, it is. Okay, so it has to be the line joining the two angles. Okay, and the last one then is very specific to a right angled triangle. So it'll only work for a right angle triangle, and that's where you have a right angle. So you need two triangles, both of which have a right angle. You need in those two triangles that the hypotenuse is the same length, and then you need one other side. It might be this one, or it could be this one. It doesn't matter. You just need one of them. Okay, so it's always only three pieces of information. So you must have the hypotenuse, you must have the right angle, and then it's just one of the other sides, whichever one. Okay? Don't worry, both of these triangles are right angle, their hypotenuse are equal. Yeah, okay, that's so here, look, here's a right angle, right? So there's my symbol for a right angle, and I have a matching one. Where do I find the hypotenuse? I found it directly opposite the right angle. So do those hypotenuses match? Yes, they do. The hypotenuse here is 5 and the hypotenuse here is 5. So I have the right angle, I have the hypotenuse, I need one other side to match, and I have a 4. Do I have a matching 4? Yes, I do. So those two triangles are congruent. Okay, so remember that congruent means they're identical, which means all three sides and all three angles must be the same, but you don't need all of that information. You don't need all 6 to prove that the triangles are congruent. You just need a couple of pieces, and then the rest have to be the same. Okay? Now, just want to see if I can, yes, okay. So this is what I want you to do for homework. Okay, I'm just going to put this in. So, sorry. Monday, the 8th of February. Bold and make it red. Okay. So, state whether each of the following pairs of triangles are congruent or not, and then explain your answers fully. Okay? So, I'm going to do the first one just to show you. But I have a 5 here, and does it match with a 5 here? Yes, it does. Okay, so I would write down, when it says explain your answer fully, I would write down that AC, which is this line, is equal to EF and I would say that what I've identified is a matching side. Okay, see, can we find another one? So there's a 4 and there's a 4. So that time it's AB is the same as DF, and what I found again is a side. Okay, so the fact that I've got two sides now, it's either going to be side, 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 or it's going to be side, angle, side. Okay, they're my two options. So hopefully this is okay. I have another equal side there. So I go BC equals DE, which again is another side. And then I would say that I've proven that three sides are the same, and that's enough to say that these two triangles are congruent. So I would say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, and my reasoning was side, side, side. So that's the kind of thing that we want you to do. Okay, remember it's three key pieces. So in that case, it was side, side, side. You do have other options. Now, it wouldn't have worked there because I wasn't given any angles. I didn't know any angles. Okay, so this could be a little bit tricky because obviously you haven't done geometry in quite a while. But it will sort of give me a chance to explain some of the concepts again anyway. So do your best on the other. Actually, we won't even do all three. We'll just do two of them. So just do B and C for homework. Okay, so take down the notes on congruency and try those questions, and we'll have a good chat about them on Wednesday. All right, thanks guys.